Hey, for my tech ed project, I'm here in my shed with my dad, and we're going to show you how to uninstall and reinstall a GFCI outlet. And Dad, before we start, what basically is a GFCI outlet?
Well, GFCI stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter Outlet. It detects any loss of voltage to ground, and then this little outlet will trip. You see it has a test and a reset, and if it trips, you can reset it right here once you clear the fault instead of going all the way back to the panel, and it's basically a protection device for people.
Hey, so what exactly is trip? I heard that.
When you trip, that means it will disconnect the power to this outlet. The power will still be inside the box, but whatever's plugged in here will not be able to get any power until you press the reset button or clear the fault.
So basically this prevents us from being electrocuted.
Right, pretty much. It's a safety device.
Hey, now we have shut off the power just like any person should do whenever they are fixing anything electrical. That way, even though this is a safe outlet, no one gets shocked. Hey, we are going to start by removing the
Mounting screws
that are hooked to this blue box. And Dad, what is this blue box right here?
Well, that blue box is made by Carlon. It's called a plastic nail-on box. And it's what you use when you're roughing a home. That's what houses the electrical outlet and the wires and keeps people safe and keeps things from fires and things from being started if there's an issue.
Wires aren't sitting up against this kind of wood right here.
Or in the insulation. Yeah. Now we're hooked up to the back of those. There's two places to hook. There's a line and a load. Dalton go and unhook that a while, and I'll explain why that is. When you hook up a GFCI outlet, the power coming to the outlet, use your regular flat tip screwdriver.
Okay.
The proper tools always help. But the power coming to this outlet is called the line side of the outlet. And that's where it gets hooked up, so that when you hook up to the load side, anything on the load side is what's protected by this outlet. You need some help, son?
Here it is. I got it now.
Okay, so when we pull that wire straight out the back, then we'll do the neutral side, which is the silver screw. The power side, or line side, is the brass screw. Okay.
And what are some of the tools that we need to use for this?
Well, you would need a flat tip screwdriver like you have, a Phillips screwdriver, some lineman's pliers, some diagonal cutters, maybe some wire strippers, a screw gun if you have it. That's loose enough. Take that apart. Now we're going to take this bare wire is the grounding wire, and it goes to the green screw, so Dalton's going to unhook that.
And basically, what exactly is ground?
Well, ground is a way for any of the current, unbalanced current, to get back to ground, or if there's a fault, it's a way for it to get back to earth so that people don't get hurt. It'll dissipate back to the earth.
And there's our ground wire.
So that's how you uninstall it. Now we have to
drop the screw here,
reinstall it, and we want to make sure that we hook it up to the line side. Here, I'll hold the screws while you do that.
And basically, so this is our actual power.
The black is going to be your power. The white is your neutral, which makes a completed circuit for the electricity to have a path to get back, because you have to have a complete circuit for electric to work.
And this here is for ground.
And that's for safety. That helps send that wire right back to the grounding electrode conductor to dissipate lightning strikes and any fault current.
So if this has current carrying through it, why is it not protected with rubber like these are?
Well, because when it goes back on this, it's instantaneous, and it should trip a breaker and the power should turn off.
Oh, okay. Hey, so we're going to start by putting the ground back.
You want to make sure that the hook is turned the same direction that the screw tightens, so that it stays on the screw and doesn't try to fight you and come off.
So like that.
If the screw is turning to the right, in the right direction, which would be clockwise, and we hook it like that. And go ahead and tighten it down, Dalton. And if you notice, while you're turning to the right, that hook is going the same direction. If we had the hook reversed the other way, it would be trying to come off.
We do not want that.
Okay. Now we look on the back and we read this. It should tell us right there that that's the line side.
Nope, that's the load side.
Okay, so then that's the line side.
So
make sure your screws are pushed in, because there's a washer in there that holds it. Put your power wire, your black wire, on the brass screw.
So the brass screw is this little yellow piece over here. Oops. Stick that in there. Now we gotta tighten up our
Retighten the
screws.
screws.
And your diagonal cutters, basically what they do is they strip.
Well,
off
most people
this part.
use a stripping tool, but I've been doing it so long that I can strip with diagonal cutters. A lot of electricians do that. But you only should do that if you know you can do it without damaging the wire.
And basically what stripping the wire does, it just allows current to flow through.
It takes the outer insulation off and allows that copper to make contact where it needs to make contact. Now we want to fold them up nice and neat so that they'll fit back in the box. Nice and neat. Like that. And I'll hold that in while Dalton put the screws in.
Okay, can I?
You can use the screw gun for that. Just gotta be careful that you don't over tighten and strip the plastic.
Oops.
Oh, wrong way. Reverse your screw gun. Now that's nice and tight.
And every time you're doing something with electricity, always turn off your power so nobody gets hurt or electrocuted.
Unless he's a trained professional and he has to do it hot, so sometimes they do have situations where they work on things hot, which means that the power is still on.
Because although that is a protected circuit, there is no guarantee that it will ever work. Just like any kind of safety on anything. And that is how you uninstall and reinstall a GFCI.